talk a little bit about your approach to development and maybe specifically how you identify people who need certain things and they may not even know they need those things?
The approach is deliberate. It is designed, it is planned, it is the understanding that, again, you've got to start with your core group of leaders to get them to understand, to buy in, and then it is putting the plan together to develop your people. I had a course that I taught a few months ago here at the command where I brought a fair amount of our mid-level enlisted leaders, and I exposed them to things that they may not ever need to use or may not use for 10 or 15 years in their career. But what concerns me is oftentimes what we call professional military education comes in the joint world sometimes too late. So, for example, you may have finally been able to go to a certain course because of your position, but you may only have a couple more years left and you're going to retire. Wow, it would have been nice if you learned that 6 or 7 years ago. And so what I've tried to do is take a lot of that joint enlisted development stuff that's already out there, but I've been afforded the opportunity to go through a long time now and teach that to my individuals and then get them to marinate in it and think through it and then challenge one another. And when I do that, I assign a mentor to each little group. So, okay, I taught X for several hours. Now you're going to sit down with your mentor and talk through this. And if it didn't make sense, let's talk about that, because the mentor will tell me that, maybe the students won't. And then over the next few days, we can do that. We're going to do that again in February, 6 to 10 February. We're going to do that here. And that'll probably be the last time that I do a large one, just given my timeline. But when we talk about development, here's a guy who now has months left in the Marine Corps. And the Marine Corps reached out to me recently and said, we're going to send you to one more course in December. And I'm going to go do that. It's at Johns Hopkins. I'm honored to go to such a prestigious university and test that out for the Marine Corps as they look to develop their next generation of senior enlisted leaders. And so the Marine Corps lives it, and I want to make sure we live it here as best we can, but it's deliberate. It can't just be accidental. It can't be, hey, let's put something together. It has to be deliberate, and there's a path and a plan forward.